Good afternoon. So we are here today to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We're here to give him thanks and to celebrate all the work that he did for us and for everyone. So we're going to start by standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll stay standing for our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stay standing, stay standing. Mrs. Frost, can you get the lights for us? You may be seated. Thank you. Before we continue, check your body. Can people behind you see? All right. We are now going to watch a short video that's going to tell us more about the life of Dr. King, and then different classes will perform some things they prepared for us. See what you can learn that you didn't know before.
It's time for learning with fun facts about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for kids. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American Baptist minister, activist, humanitarian, and also known for being the leader of the African American Civil Rights Movement. Dr. Martin Luther King was born in Atlanta, Georgia on January 15, in 1929. Now, the world knows him today as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but his name wasn't always Martin. He was actually born and given the name Michael by his father. But that all changed during a trip to Germany, where the theologian Martin Luther impressed Dr. Martin Luther King's father so much that he changed his name and his son's name too. Now, when it came to education, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was very smart. That's right, when he was a kid, he literally skipped 2 grades, the 9th and the 11th, to enter Morehouse College at the young age of 15 in 1944. Later on, Dr. King entered Boston University. There, he completed his schoolwork in 1953, earning a doctorate in systematic theology 2 years later. Also, while he was there, he met his love, Coretta Scott. That's right, Coretta Scott was a young singer from Alabama who was studying at the New England Conservatory of Music. They later got married in 1953. Not long thereafter, he got involved in the Civil Rights Movement, taking part in the Montgomery bus boycott after Rosa Parks had been arrested for not going to the back of the bus after the bus driver told her she couldn't sit at the front. Of course, many know Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from taking part in the March on Washington on August 28, 1963, where his world-famous I Have a Dream speech From there, his name only grew, and in 1964, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Sadly, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life was cut short, being assassinated on April 4, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee, while standing on the balcony of the Lorraine Hotel. Although the nation was sad, the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would still ring loud today. The hard work that he did during the Civil Rights Movement would soon be listened to, and that's when the Civil Rights Act was passed by Congress. And although many celebrated his birthday around the country in multiple cities, at the White House Rose Garden on November 2, 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill creating a federal holiday to honor Dr. King's works. And those are fun facts about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. It's time.
All right, so now we are going to have kindergarten perform a song that they prepared for us. All right. Now the first graders, we've been practicing a poem, so first grade, you may stand up. We're going to sing this twice, so we encourage all of you to join us the second time around. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, Miss Ramsey's class is going to share some daily affirmations with us and how they relate to Dr. King.
Good afternoon. My children that have been in my class in previous years, you are welcome to do these with us because I know you know them. Are you ready? Okay, these are our daily affirmations. I am smart. I am capable. I am a problem solver. I am a hard worker. I am a friend to others. I help when I can. looking.
Even when no one is looking.
Even when the right thing is hard.
Even if the right thing is hard.
No one can be me,
No one can be me.
and no one is just like me.
And no one is just like me.
I am extraordinary.
I am extraordinary. Each and every morning we read these affirmations. Our affirmations are connected to the dream that Martin Luther King had for us as a nation.
Our affirmations say that I and all of us are extraordinary, not because of what we look like, not because of what color our hair is, our eyes, or our skin, not because of how much money we have, how big our house is, or even what kind of shoes we have.
Our affirmations tell us that each day we are extraordinary because we are kind, are a friend to others, are helpers, and we strive to do the right thing even when no one is looking.
This is Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream for all to be judged by the continent of our character, not the color of our skin. It's not what's on the outside, but what is on the inside that counts.
Well said. All right. Now, Mrs. Gordon's third graders have a poem they've prepared for us. All right, now in fourth grade, Mrs. Smith's class did a Wordle project about Dr. King, and Aiden has a few words for us.
Grade 4 did a word cloud in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Here are some traits we came up with. He was peaceful, equality, smart, helpful, gold, respect, peace, brave, hero, love, hope, faith, dream, leader, and most of all, freedom.
And finally, we have some fifth graders who are going to come up and talk about their poster project.
Today, we gather to honor the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. He stood against the separation of races or segregation, a time when black children were forced to attend underfunded schools with fewer resources than the white children. They were also denied basic rights, like drinking from the same water fountain as their white peers. Dr. King was a powerful voice advocating for change. Dr. King was born in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, to a minister. Following in his father and grandfather's footsteps, he became a minister himself. As a child, he formed a friendship with a white boy, but when they started school at the age of 6, they were forced to attend different schools because of the color of their skin. Like many black Americans, Dr. King faced unfair treatment because he was black. He joined the debate team at school, sharpening his skills in public speaking. Despite his intelligence, he lacked access to quality educational resources. However, he was so bright and such a hard worker that he skipped ninth grade and later earned his PhD from Boston University. That is when his name changed from Mr. Martin Luther King Jr. to Dr. Luther King Jr. In the fall of 1954, Dr. King and his wife moved to Montgomery, Alabama, where he became a minister of a Baptist church and a community leader.
The year after the Kings moved to Montgomery, there was a bus boycott. By 1955, many people had grown tired of racial discrimination. A significant protest, the Montgomery bus boycott, was organized with Dr. King as a leader. During this time, if a white person wanted a seat on the bus, they could push a black person out of the way. For a year, black individuals either walked or found rides to work to protest the segregated buses. College and high school students began to resist the racist laws all over the South. In 1960, Greensboro, North Carolina, 4 black college students sat at a lunch counter reserved for white patrons and refused to leave until they were served. Their bravery inspired many others, both black and white people, to join their cause, forming the civil rights movement. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. emerged as their leader, uniting people across the South in the fight against racial segregation.
August 28, 1963 was the day of the March on Washington. That was when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. One thing he said was, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Martin Luther King wanted listeners to take away the fact that no one should be judged by their culture or skin color, but by their words and actions. Dr. King also taught that people should protest peacefully without violence.
In 1964, Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act, making it illegal to segregate people by race. Children no longer had to attend underfunded schools designed for black students. Tragically, Dr. King was assassinated 4 years later by someone who opposed his message. So, what does that mean for us today? Racial equality is still an area that needs improvement in our country. It is crucial that we recognize and treat people equally. One of the most famous lines from Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech is, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all people are created equal. May its inspirational words impact change today.
To join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history
nice job. I can tell through all the songs and poems and singing that Dr. King is special to each and every one of us. So I encourage you on Monday, when you don't have school, have fun and play, but also think, what can I do to honor Dr. King? Not just Monday, but every day of your life. Think about what you've learned and what he did that you can do now for others. So I think to show respect, we are going to leave at a level 0. So look at your teacher, but stay at a 0 so you know when it's your class's turn to leave. Thank you.